In accordance with Title IV, Section 6I of the band statutes, which are the law of the band, we will now hear the State of the Band address by the Honorable Chief Executive Virgil Wind.
Sorry, give me a minute. I'm a little extra here. Sorry. All high maintenance up here, man, so. Somebody bring Lenny a donut here before because I got to settle in here. About an hour here we got going here. We timed it out, so. First off, before I get in, we'll start out right? Anin Wagush Indijnakas, Biju and Dudame, Mrs. Zigening and Dunjaba. One of the words that really resonates with me is Anundwe Maganadug. And it's something that I always open with, right? And it's really about how connected we all are, right? Everywhere we are in the world, we have a connection to somebody else. And it's a very important term as we look at the work that we're doing today. Before I get on into my speech here, a couple disclaimers. I want to make sure that everybody knows that as we look to change, it's not taking shots at where we were because the world has changed, right? We're in a different place today than we were yesterday, and tomorrow's going to be different than today. So as we look around the room, we're very fortunate, right, to have had all these wonderful leaders. And as part of my speech, is really thanking them for their work and the blessings that they've brought to us, right? So can we give the former leaders a round of applause, please? So along with those blessings comes a lot of dreams to carry out, right? Change, as I said before, it's not meant to take a shot at what we did yesterday. It's meant to say, let's do something different tomorrow. Let's address the need of tomorrow. So just disclaimer here quick, so I'm not taking shots at anybody. I am going to speak some truths within this speech. And we tried to filter it down for public consumption, but there are things, right, that we need to talk about as a band. I see a number of band members out here, and there are things that we need to talk about. And I will not bullshit you, right? That's one of the things. So hopefully you appreciate that. I always start off a speech with a swear word in the first couple minutes, right? So as Kelly was doing can we give Kelly a round of applause, please? Thank you so much, Kelly. So as we were getting started here, we had a very wonderful problem, right? So as Kelly was doing his thing and mentioning the very important dignitaries that are partners of the band, there were over 60 of them that showed up today to hear the State of the Band address. So I want you guys to know that your presence here is not unseen. Your presence here is appreciated. So can we give the dignitaries one more round of applause, please? All right, that was just my entry to this thing here. So back to that term, Anundwe Maganadug, all my relatives. As we come together today, let us remember how connected we all are as the friends, family, and community that make up the non-removable Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. As the Anishinaabe that walk this beautiful earth, and as a people committed to the sovereignty, well-being, and longevity of the band, let us always remember the impact that we all have and the actions that we take every day, good and bad, and what those actions mean to one another. It is within our power to cause someone to have a tremendous day or, unfortunately, a very hurtful one. So let us always choose to be the light that someone may need today. Blessed, here we are. What a sight to see, the non-removable Mille Band of Ojibwe, here then, here now, and here for 1,000 years to come, united, always moving forward. Welcome tribal leaders, honored guests, employees, friends, and most importantly, welcome my fellow citizens of the non-removable Mille Band of Ojibwe. Go ahead. You guys can do that all day if you want. Mr. Speaker, members of the Band Assembly, and honorable justices, welcome to the 41st Annual State of the Band Address. Miigwech to Joe Naquinabe Sr. for speaking on our behalf so that we can always begin in a good way. Miigwech to the ceremonial drum and Wabashkibanes for setting the dish yesterday and setting all of us up for the right day today. Miigwech to the Mille Band, all veterans post for posting the flags, and to the singers that blessed us here today. Miigwech to the royalty that assisted us in bringing in our colors, and a special miigwech to Brea Sawyer for her beautiful rendition of the national anthem. You guys do not know how close you were to hearing me sing that. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here today. It has been 189 days since I raised my hand and swore the oath as Chief Executive of the Mille Band of Ojibwe, and I am very grateful for the opportunity to serve as your chief. Whoa. 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 This is not a job that I take lightly, and over the years, hopefully you'll come to see that although I may be a lot at times, my heart is always in the right place, and I'm always working for the best interest of the band. It is still unbelievable to me to have this honor. So I do. I need a napkin. I'm thinking back to what the Mille Band was and looking today in awe, right? In awe of what it really has become. Over the years, I've learned to count my blessings at least a few times a day, and I am blessed to have had an entire community raise and carry me along throughout the best and worst days of my life. Through addiction, alcoholism, foster care, and some of the poorest choices that anyone could have ever made, I have been blessed with family, friends, and community that have believed in me and seen in me qualities that make a strong leader. When I look around the room, I see a lot of those people, and I couldn't be more blessed to have you all in my life. I always get a little emotional during that part, like, thank you guys so much, man. Thank you so much. Get it together. Get it together, you're the chief here, get it together. To those people, man, thank you for guiding me into the person that I've become. I truly wouldn't be here without that. Nervous. I've always thought that throughout my life, when your boss is in the room, we should all be a little nervous. Standing here today feels like I'm in front of more than 5,000 bosses. That's a humbling feeling, A very dear confidant of mine once told me that the human body produces the same endorphins whether a person is nervous or excited. And since that day, I have tricked myself into being excited throughout all of life's struggles. Thank you, my confidant. Just think about that. Just that simple change in mindset and approach can have phenomenal impacts on the way that we carry ourselves. Therefore, I am excited to give this year's State of the Band address. During my team's brief time in office, we've invested a lot of time in analyzing the state of our band. I keep saying that the obstacles that lay before us are not a me problem, they're an us problem. Because the truth is, as I said in my inauguration speech, I cannot do much of anything without all of your support and without a united team that is willing to take on any task. Still, it can be helpful at times to look back. In order to know where you are, or know where, this teleprompter thing's a little weird here, I'll just say that. In order to know where you're going, you have to really know where you're at. I'm waiting for a dramatic effect here. All right. So that was really a flashback in time, right? So as I mentioned, in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you've been. So our team has spent a lot of time looking back, right? This beautiful picture, right? Look at that skinny guy. Somebody said yesterday he's got a big head and a little body. I'm like, I'm glad I grew into this body a little bit, you know what I mean? So the year, right? Times change. The year was 1995, right? The world changes. Preferences, right? Obviously change as well. I was warned not to do that joke, right? So those of us that were teenagers in 1995 knew every word to Waterfalls by TLC, or This Is How We Do It by Montel Jordan, or the one you've just heard, Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. The best movies at the box office were Batman Forever, Apollo 13, Toy Story, and one of my all-time favorites, Braveheart. Mel Gibson killed that role, you know. The San Francisco 49ers defeated the San Diego Chargers in Super Bowl 29, and Michael Jordan even came back from retirement only to lose to the Orlando Magic in the playoffs. For the record, and everybody in the room, I'd still take Jordan over LeBron any day of the week. So back to 1995, something else happened. On January 10th of that year, the Mille Lacs Band Chief Executive Marge Anderson declared 1995 to be the year of the child. In an executive order, Chief Anderson found that safeguarding the future of our children and youth of the Mille Lacs Band is and has always been the most important priority of the Mille Lacs Band. She said that she was personally and officially committed to promoting a better tomorrow for the children and the youth of the Mille Lacs Band. She also determined that promoting a better tomorrow for the children and youth of the Mille Lacs Band requires that the band devote resources and energy in 1995 to examining and improving the programs, services, and activities of band government which serve the interests of the children. Finally, Marge found it desirable that the health, education, economic, social, and cultural needs of the band's children be formally recognized government-wide in 1995 as the primary focus of all band government and community activities. And with that, Marge declared 1995 to be the year of the child. That was 30 years ago, 120 pounds ago. Her words are as true and powerful today as they were then. I believe what she believed, that the children are our future and that we must continually invest in them. Ladies and gentlemen, Mille Lacs band members, friends, family, distinguished guests, dignitaries, dedicated servants of the band, in addition to providing my State of the Band address, my first State of the Band address, and in honor of the memory of Marge Anderson, I declare 2025 to also be the year of the child. Getting all dry up here. As you all know, Marge was a fierce advocate for our tribal sovereignty, self-determination, culture, and children. She served the band for many years, first as a District 1 representative beginning in 1977, and then as Secretary-Treasurer from 1987 to 1991, then as Chief Executive from 91 to 2000, and again from 2008 to 2012. Marge once said that we must not merely witness the change, we must develop it. We need to help shape the change and be the needle that weaves the web of change. And with that, I call on each and every one of you, elected officials, commissioners, we all have to come together and work toward the change that we so deeply need for all of our communities. Somebody's old water up here. All chapped lips, just kidding. It's the light, really. So Marge may have walked on, but we still have her daughter, Gina Anderson. Unfortunately, Gina couldn't be here with us today, but a couple months ago, we had an employee appreciation event. And at that event, I was shocked to learn that Gina has worked for the band more than 40 years. Think about that. Think about that, 40 years of serving the band, engaging the band members, trying to solve the band members' problems. I can't thank Gina enough for her service, and I hope she will feel honored watching from home as we look to her distinguished mother for guidance. Over the years, we have developed programs to attempt to meet the needs of band members, and upon entering today, I had one. Upon entering today, you should have received a new program and services guide that my team has developed. Please take one with you so that whenever you're in need of help, you'll know exactly what the band has to offer and who to contact to get those services rolling. We don't ever want to fall short in connecting band members that are in need to the services meant for them. The truth is that we have been blessed with getting acknowledged time and time again for the services that we provide for our people. Although this is a wonderful thing, I believe, much like Marge declared so many years ago, that a different approach must be taken. We have done a respectable job at being reactive to the woes of our membership, but I believe that taking a more proactive approach might serve us better. While still serving in the District 1 representative position, I was asked to deliver a speech at Wewanabe to celebrate the Head Start graduation of 22 young graduates. While I stood on that stage, it dawned on me the immense effort that was put into celebrating the graduation of this young Head Start class. The children, all adorned in their mini caps and gowns with custom-made medallions, they sat patiently as we talked about what was going to be important in their lives and what their lives might look like. The theme for that graduation was, "Oh, the places you'll go." At that moment, I remember thinking that we as a band have the resources and the ability to change the lives of these children by simply celebrating them every day, celebrating their every accomplishment and utilizing our resources to make them feel valued throughout the course of their lives. Imagine where those 22 kids would be in 10 or 15 years if we took a different approach. Imagine if we created a path for them that encompassed every opportunity from extracurricular activities all the way to higher education. The sky would be the limit. As leaders of the Mille Lacs Band, we have the obligation and power to make these changes. As you guys all know, children hold a special place in my heart. Maybe that's why I have 5 of them of my own. Man, I've been blessed over the years to get to know a lot of them, and they're awesome. I'm very fortunate. Can you guys give my family a round of applause, please? So they've really sacrificed. Right, when I was working construction, I'm veering off here for a sec, but they've really sacrificed. When I was working construction, it was different, you know, and now that I'm in a role here, it takes me away from home a lot. And it's tough, man. It's tough to find a balance, and I appreciate their support. So please, one more round of applause for them, please. Children represent what is best in all of us before the world takes that innocence away. So many of our children have faced traumas that most people can't even imagine. We have got to find a way to reverse that. Parents, grandparents, aunties, and uncles, it is our job to come together to protect our kids and to build a world in which they can thrive. Together, we must make this a priority. Confidence is one of the keys to living a successful, happy, and peaceful life. And so much of that is instilled within us when we are young. I was very fortunate in my life to have certain opportunities that laid the groundwork and allowed me to become the person I am today. I keep saying I couldn't be more grateful, and thank you guys so much. Throughout all of my youth, and even to the present day, I have had people that have believed in me when I haven't even believed in myself. People who have picked me up and dusted me off all along the way. And our children need and deserve that same level of support. As leaders, let's make sure we can nurture our children's education, nurture their confidence, and provide them the same degree of loving support that we either received or that we wish we had received while we were growing up. As a band, we have many blessings. We are blessed to have casinos, blessed to have per cap, GWE, blessed to have Miners Trust Fund. We are blessed to have our communities, blessed to have our government, our sovereignty, our heritage. We are blessed to have our beautiful culture. But how are we using all of these blessings to the utmost benefit of our children? I would venture to say that given the current state of our band, we are not doing enough to set our children up for a positive and brighter future. And that's something that we should not accept. This struggle is not new. Bruce White, he's over here. Bruce White, thank you so much for being here today. Can we give Bruce a round of applause, please? So Bruce White is a Mille Lacs Band historian, and friend of the tribe. And he recently wrote a book that I think bears mentioning. The book is called "They Would Not Be Moved: The Enduring Struggle of the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe to Keep Their Reservation," our reservation. The result of this, of this book is our entire history, the fight for our independence, the fight for our cultural identity, all here in one place. The lives, names, and tales of so many of our ancestors are found within the pages of this book. And I'd like to encourage everyone to read this book because I think it's important that we all become students of our own history. And this book allows us to do just that. On the topic of what's best for our children, I'd like to read one passage from the book. This is where Darla makes some wise crack about my eyes being bad and I can't read that small print. And Bruce White wrote within this book, Mille Lacs band members attempted to continue their seasonal patterns of resource use in the face of frequent harassment and competition from settlers. These patterns included logging and harvesting resources such as wild rice, sugar, berries, and game, which could be sold for cash. In addition, band members made improvements in their lives of the kind that federal agents frequently encouraged them to do, but would not provide for them unless they moved to White Earth. For example, there was no government school for the children of band members. Some children began to go to school. It was reported in 1895 that despite objection from some, several Indian children attended the Lake Shakopee School. They showed the greatest interest in the school and learned very fast. So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is that even in times of poverty, hardship, and the threat of forced removal, even when thrust into an environment which they were being taught in a foreign language, our children were diligent and successful when given the opportunity. It is incumbent upon us to keep giving them those opportunities. Marge Anderson believed that. It is why she was such a staunch advocate for our schools, which still stand today as a symbol of our sovereignty and struggle for a better life. Today, it is my honor to carry the mantle of that legacy forward and to honor her vision and leadership of the past by building an even stronger future. I've been in office as chief executive for just over 6 months. At my inauguration speech just last July, I stated that the foundation of the Mille Lacs Band is its people, and I stand by that message. I ask now that we direct our collective efforts towards improving the well-being of all of our membership in the year 2025. This is where it gets real, man. So, the state of our band is not perfect. We all know this. The health of our communities has plenty of room for improvement. But how do we address the shortcomings? Where do we begin in our struggle to make a brighter future for ourselves and our children? As the chief executive of the executive branch of government, band law provides me with 8 cabinet members to assist in carrying out the duties of band government. Cabinet members, you've already been recognized, but if you could please stand up for a sec when we get to you as I call your name. They are starting with Commissioner of Administration, Darcy Big Bear. Assistant Commissioner of Administration, Maria Costello. Commissioner of Natural Resources, Kelly Applegate. Commissioner of Education, Raina Keelspotted. Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Nicole Anderson. And Commissioner of Community Development, Tracy Burr. Another member of my cabinet, my old sparring partner, Caleb Dog Eagle, Solicitor General. We also have one more cabinet member, and that is currently vacant. It is the Commissioner of Administration, our Commissioner of Corporate Affairs position, recently became vacant on January 1st. These are the leaders that I'll be leaning on during this year of the child to provide real-world tangible results for our band membership and our children. To all of you that are standing, I want to be clear and direct that I expect you to work together. I expect you to work with the other stakeholders across the band to achieve the goals that I'm setting out here today. Working together is the only way to accomplish these initiatives. Thank you all for that. Thank you all for that very warm welcome of our dedicated cabinet members. Thank you guys so much. Veering off here for one sec. These guys, they live it, they eat it, they breathe it every single day. Their phone rings all hours of the day and night, and their dedication to our people and our families and our employees of the band. We can't say enough how grateful we are for them and that sacrifice. So let's give them one more round of applause, please. The daunting task of working together has already started. On multiple occasions, I have called upon you as a team to address issues that we face on a daily basis. Your commitment and dedication to the band does not go unnoticed. I am very grateful for each and every one of the strengths that you all bring to the table. Together is the way. United, we can address any problem and positively change the lives of our members. If there was one focus, they're awkwardly still standing. 1 minute. If there was one focus that we should all work on together, it would be to assess the band's approach to ensuring that cultural teachings and Ojibwe language of the non-removable Mille Lacs Band remains at the forefront of every decision that we make. It is our collective responsibility to have our culture woven into every department and action that we take. Please have a seat, cabinet members. Appreciate you. One more round of applause. So this is where it gets a little awkward, right? You get a little bossy, you know? I'd like to take some time now to address each of the cabinet members in turn. Darcy Big Bear, Commissioner of Administration. Darcy, I've seen you over there. You were the first commissioner nominated and confirmed during my term as chief executive. In addition to all the reimagining I have asked you to do to the Department of Administration, I also recently asked you to serve as the interim commissioner of corporate affairs until we can get more clarity on how to improve our corporate governance. That's a lot to put on one person, but you are obligated by statute, unfortunately. But more than that obligation, statutory obligation, you are someone that I sincerely trust to carry us through. On top of all your other duties in 2025, I'd like you to continue reviewing the band's personnel policy and procedures manual with an eye toward how we can make it easier for our band member employees to become foster parents to the band children in need of homes. As Chief of Staff, I look forward to working with multiple departments to get this done. So when I started, I was like, I'll give myself 5 blunders, right? I'm getting a little nervous now because I'm on 3.5. Of course, Darla's chiming in the front row here. Over the years, the band has experienced significant growth, inspiring us to reassess our entire administrative structure. This year, Darcy, I call on you to modernize the band's administrative framework and technology. Making informed decisions is challenging without having access to accurate data, and our business operations are hindered without updated technology solutions. We continually hear from band members sharing their concerns about inefficiency, lack of accountability, and communication within our government. And together, we will address these issues and revamp operations, ensuring that our employees have the tools they need to thrive and enhance their work experience, and ultimately provide better service for our band members. Darcy, in 2025, I'd like you to work with our district representatives to see what better opportunities we can provide our children through our community centers. The more programs that we can offer our children and provide for our people, the better off we'll be. And so much of that starts within our community centers. For starters, I look to you to get the community centers staffed during the times that are most convenient for all of our band members, especially and including our youth. You guys got my hands sweaty, man. I'm freaking out. Just kidding. Speaking of community centers, there are 2 here in District 1. They are commonly referred to as the new and old community centers. I'd like to address that, right? So please allow me to veer off for a moment from the cabinet members. Let's take a little break from that. But I see, and I've asked former District 1 Representative Sandy Blake to attend today, and she's in the audience with us. Sandy served as a District 1 representative from 2000 until 2004, and then again from 2008 until 2020. That's 16 years of total service as an elected official. One sec. That's the second time Dion ever listened to me. Just kidding, she's awesome. So, a dear friend of mine, Sandy Blake, also known as Misquanakadukwe, Red Sky Woman. Sandy has been deeply committed to the Mille Lacs Band and also committed to improving the lives of our band members over the years. She was instrumental in the creation of the District 1 Aquatic and Fitness Community Center, a project that reflected her vision for a more connected community. Her advocacy ensured that the facility would meet the needs of all band members. Sandy, which one is it? Make sure I get the right one here. Sandy Blake, my dear friend, you did a lot of work in your time to get the District 1 Aquatic and Fitness Center built. It's a beautiful facility and one that I've become very fond of. But as everybody in the room knows, man, I've really not liked that name, right? That's putting it lightly, man. That name, the Aquatic and Fitness Center, it's always really chapped my ass, man. The intent of that Aquatic and Fitness Center and the battle that I took over when Sandy left office was that it was a community center first, right? A community center first. More than anything, we don't care about the money that it can bring in. It's about the people. So with that, here I have an executive order renaming the District 1 Aquatic and Fitness Center the Misquanakadukwe Community Center in honor of you, Sandy Blake. So, off script here. Sandy served as the longest serving District 1 representative, and it is my honor to present her with this plaque. I'll give it to you when I'm off the stage. Miigwech so much. So, now that we've dealt with the new community center, the next one doesn't really chat me as much, but I've also asked the family of the late Myron Garbo to attend today. Myron served as District 1 representative from 1987 to 1992, and then again from 1996 to 1999. Myron's tenure was marked by several notable achievements, including the development and enhancement of all of our community infrastructure, such as Neashing School. Neashing School was there to promote and preserve our Ojibwe language, culture, and traditions, and he also helped with the development of our casinos. His dedication to the community and his efforts to improve the quality of lives for band members has left a lasting impact. Family members of Myron Garbo, with your blessing, I have renamed the old District 1 Community Center the Badwewi Dung Community Center. Please join me in giving these two instrumental leaders It's a lot to carry forward, man, right? So just a disclaimer here, right? So we haven't picked the color of the building. We haven't really made the signs, right? We did this for dramatic effect. It's all coming. You'll see by the end of my speech here all the other stuff that we're working on. So, man, thank you, Sandy, Myron's family. Really appreciate you guys. And, you know, when I talked earlier about those people that lift us up along the way, man, I wouldn't be here without both of you guys as families, so really do appreciate you guys. One more round of applause, please. Now back to the cabinet members. Maria Costello, Assistant Commissioner of Administration, the Swiss Army knife of commissioners. Maria has had to fill various roles over the years, acting not only as the Commissioner of Administration at times, but also as the Commissioner of Education, and the Commissioner of Community Development, and the Commissioner of Natural Resources. Maria, in 2025, I want you to take a really close look at our Human Resources Department. Our HR team is dedicated to meeting the needs of band employees, but they have never really been prioritized. They continue to work tirelessly with limited resources, and this year, I'd like you, along with Darcy, to develop a plan and budget that will nurture a flourishing HR department. Supporting human resources is vital, as they are the key to our government's success. We will implement a much-needed HR information system to improve efficiency, manage data, and provide more resources to band employees, and again, ultimately change the services that we're able to deliver to our band members. Additionally, Maria, I'd like you to establish a band member development department within HR that focuses on training and coaching and helping each band member develop and succeed with their respective career paths. Kelly Applegate, Commissioner of Natural Resources. Where is he? Where is he? There he is, there he is. So Kelly, our resident Emmy Award winner. Seriously, you may have heard Kelly recently won a regional Emmy Award in the category of diversity, equity, and inclusion for a short film made for the band's Water Over Nickel campaign. The film was developed to educate the public on tribal members' relationship with our sacred monomen, and also so that people would understand the threat posed by nickel sulfide mining. For anyone who hasn't seen the video, please visit waterovernickel.com and you should be able to watch the short film. The Water Over Nickel campaign has been a tremendous success. Due to Kelly's efforts and Talon Metals' increased understanding of the band's concerns, Talon Metals has adjusted its approach to the design and operation of this proposed facility. Although not a final solution that the band is satisfied with, the Water Over Nickel campaign has succeeded in highlighting the band's environmental concerns over the proposed mine, thus ensuring the tribes, all tribes, are more involved in the state's mining permitting processes. Thank you, Kelly, for your dedication and continued advocacy on this very important issue. Yeah, Tanya too. Where's Tanya? Let's give Tanya a yell too. So this next section, man, we're not going to catch it all in here. And, you know, I could be up here for 5 hours. But this is one that bears mentioning, right? It's probably one of the biggest things that we'll all deal with in the next 6 months, 6 years, 10 years, right? As you guys might know, enrollments resides in DNR within the Mille Lacs Band. And with regard to enrollments, in 2024, the Mille Lacs Band commissioned a population projection study produced by the Wilder Foundation. The study found that if the Minnesota Chippewa tribe maintains its 1/4 MCT blood quantum requirement, in 100 years, the Mille Lacs Band will be reduced from approximately 5,000 members to fewer than 1,200 members. If we follow the current path, our tribe will be reduced by 76% in the next 100 years. If the band, another scenario, if the band begins to allow other Anishinaabe blood to be included within that 1/4 degree blood quantum requirement, our membership will be approximately 1,400 in those same 100 years. Another scenario, if we allow any American Indian blood to count towards that 1/4 degree blood quantum requirement, then our population will stay relatively flat. The population will increase slightly if we move that blood quantum down to 1/8, and will nearly double if we move to lineal descendancy. It's a lot to say, right? Think of that, the monumental things that we're talking about. It is and has been my position that the Minnesota Chippewa tribe should not make any changes to enrollment requirements that would affect the Mille Lacs Band population without us band members making that decision for ourselves. For this reason, I have pushed and will continue to push for a referendum vote that would allow Mille Lacs Band members to have their voices heard on this very important matter, To me, that is the fairest and most responsible way to make decisions of such monumental importance. In fact, in that same Wilder study, more than 80% of the Mille Lacs band members surveyed believed that it should be up to us as band members to make those determinations. As leaders, it is our job to ensure that band members are educated in both the pros and the cons of any and all changes. It is my promise to the membership that before I agree to any changes, there will be a vote of the Mille Lacs band people. My heart's racing. Commissioner Applegate has been of tremendous help to me when analyzing these complex issues. Kelly, in these last 6 months of working with you, I've found you to be highly organized, thoughtful, and very passionate about pursuing and ultimately protecting the interests of the band. I look forward to more great things to come from you. But, just kidding. But in 2025, I am asking that you develop new initiatives that engage our band's youth, further connecting them to our natural resources and in turn our cultural heritage. Shifting over to our next commissioner, Tracy Burr, Commissioner of Community Development. Where you at, Tracy? Tracy, another outside-the-box thinker. Tracy is new to the band in a commissioner role, but man, does he have some ideas, boy. Just kidding, Tracy. Recently, Tracy has completed a strategic housing plan for fiscal year 2025. It is the first of its kind in many, many years. Tracy will soon be submitting his plan to the Housing Board for approval, and after which time it'll be routed to the Band Assembly for final ratification. A strategic housing plan will help us to define the weaknesses in our housing programs and to make sure that we are providing maximum housing opportunities to band members. Not trying to start a fight here yet, but I call on the Band Assembly to work closely with Tracy in 2025 so that the band can have a housing plan that meets the ever-changing needs of our membership. Coupled with this strategic plan, the conversations have already started. I direct you, Tracy, and your staff to analyze and adjust the current housing policies to better meet the needs of today. Another objective that will set us up for future success is to develop and maintain a 10-year capital improvement plan. This plan should encompass an outline that will get our band facilities up to an acceptable standard, as well as provide a more comprehensive approach to the care of these valuable assets. Tracy, I thank you and your team for the work that you have done to date to help make this a reality. In 2025, I have some very lofty goals for you and your team. These goals, of course, are subject to appropriations of the Assembly. First, the rehabilitation of our ceremonial buildings. This is a great initiative that was brought on by something that we should all be proud of. More and more Anishinaabe are participating in our drum ceremonies. This increased participation has caused the need to remodel and revamp our current facilities. There are already plans that are near complete, and they must be carried out. Let's give that a round of applause. Ceremonial, right? Second, lofty, right? Second, Neashing Schools. This initiative ties directly to the Year of the Child by bringing our tribal schools up to date, ensuring the safety and well-being of our students. I direct you and your team to work closely with the Commissioner of Education, Raina Kilspotted, to get these assets updated. Third, the Government Center Upgrade and Refresh Project. The Bedana Benukwe Government Center, appropriately named after Marge Anderson, stands as the hub for all of our services that the band offers our members. Its appearance and functionality should reflect a deep commitment to those services. I direct you and your staff to ensure that this building is fully functional and operable for years to come. Finally, that's what you guys are thinking. Finally, the old District 1 Community Center, now known as the Badwewidung Community Center. A few years ago, this project was brought up and into rotation to upgrade all of our existing community centers. As a District 1 representative then, I patiently waited for the outlying centers to be upgraded, and now is the time to address this need. Tracy, please work with the District 1 representative to establish a plan to get this building up to an acceptable standard. Moving on. Oh, what? So a big part of that, before jumping over to the next commissioner, is that we've been blessed with having a lot of assets and beautiful facilities. And over the years, we haven't really set into place how we're going to care for them for a long period of time. And that's this permanent initiative plan. Let's make sure that we're watching out for that. So the guys, they're looking out. They're saying, okay, we need air handlers here. We need windows here. We need heating systems. We need this stuff here. And it's really a great comprehensive approach to getting a hold of our assets so that we don't have to put such a huge amount of money into them all the time. Moving on to Nicole Anderson, Commissioner of Health and Human Services. I'm going to need this teleprompter moved right here so I can stare right in her eyes. Nicole Anderson, one of our greatest fighters for our children. Her and her team have done a wonderful job in advocating for change and updating HHS. They've done a wonderful job. For the first time in years, HHS, aside from elder services, aside from those services, is a profitable organization. Let's give her and her team a round of applause, please. Nicole, a couple of months ago, we advocated for our children before the Wakan Planning Commission, seeking the city's acquiescence to a new child advocacy center so that our parents struggling with addiction have a safe place to go to exercise parenting time with their children and to learn new skills that'll help toward family reunification. Because of your and your team's efforts, this project is now underway and will be complete this spring. So this also ties into that movement of this administration of really looking at what assets that we have within the band, upgrading them, updating them, and utilizing them to their full potential. This Child Advocacy Center is just one example of something that we bought a while ago and now we're going to put to full use. So we're very, very blessed. Let's give those former leaders a round of applause. During your time as HHS Commissioner, you have made a difference with only more great things to come. But, just kidding. As we look at the continuum of care for our membership, we see a need for a woman and children's halfway house. We currently have an inpatient treatment center, outpatient program, men's halfway house, and wonderful peer support services. What we are lacking is something specific to our women and children and those that are struggling for a healthy life and a home to live in. You guys want to see a fight? Watch this. Therefore, I am directing you. I am directing you, Nicole, to move forward on the planning and implementation of a woman's halfway house and working with the commissioner group to move forward on a comprehensive transitional housing plan. Moving to dental, switching to dental. I need them, just kidding. Switching to the dental team for a moment. They do outstanding work, but they are spread very thin. They work long days and adjust to the needs of patients as much as possible. However, it has become clear to me that the needs need to be increased. There needs to be increased access to dental services, especially in the outer districts. Therefore, Nicole, I direct you to put together a plan to increase access to dental services. Before we move, this is part, right? I said I wouldn't bullshit you, right? So as we develop these programs, we need our membership to buy into this. We need our membership to show up. We need our membership to make their appointments. We need our membership to do their part in making sure that when we create these things that they're accepted within the communities. We need them to show up and say, you know what, we appreciate the things that we have to offer, otherwise we have to go somewhere else. So let's please, as we're developing these, let's embrace them and let us know as we're working here. We're not perfect. Let us know how we can change them, how we can mold them to meet your needs. But please be mindful that it is very expensive to put a dentist there and not have them be utilized fully. Anyway, back to script. HHS has worked hard to stabilize its information technology systems over the last several years. In 2024, the department has successfully implemented its new medical record system and started the process of mapping out the Circle of Health program. Technology modernization is vital for enhancing the quality of care, vital for improving operational efficiency, and ensuring that we meet the needs of the people that we serve. Therefore, I support and encourage the team at HHS to begin the process of updating and modernizing the elder services, emergency, victim, and family services departments to complete a full modernization of HHS. You guys are going to be lucky. If I drink 2 more waters, I have to quit talking, you know. Finally, given that the theme of this year's State of the Band address is the well-being of our children, I would be remiss if I did not mention family services. The Family Services Department has been a critical area of band government for years, and it has operated with minimum levels of support. Through self-determination, we as a band make the decisions about our child welfare systems. And we must ensure that family ties remain at the forefront of these decisions. Evidence shows that children do better when they maintain connection to their families. Having taken many children into my own household over the years, I believe that looking after family members that are in need is part of being an Anishinaabe. It is who we are, and we must always keep those family ties strong. A lot of work to do. Moving on to our next commissioner, Raina Killspotted, Commissioner of Education. Where are you at, Raina? Tracy will like this one. Raina Killspotted, my newest commissioner, the new baby commissioner. Having been in office for just a few months, Raina has truly demonstrated her organizational skills, her passion for education, and her deep connection to our culture. Commissioner Killspotted, beginning with Mille Early Education, we currently have an enrollment of 139 children ages 6 weeks to 5 years. Though our teachers there are doing everything they can, there are simply not enough of them, and they are stretched very thin. By filling and maintaining vacant teaching positions, we could drastically increase our enrollment. We would also be able to return our staff that are there working to 8-hour days instead of their current schedule of working 4 9-hour days, Monday through Thursday, and then an additional 4 hours on Friday. But due to the turbulence of the scheduling, Mille Early Education is closed for a half a day on Friday, and we even have had some children leave as a result. Raina, in 2025, I want you to do whatever you can to hire more early education teachers and alleviate these problems. You will have my full and unwavering support. Hold on one sec. So, you know what? I used to be a smoker, man, so when I get nervous, I use chapstick. I'm going to be really pissed if I get lip cancer, you know? So moving on, Neashing schools. Let's call it like we see it. We have low attendance rates. Our students suffer from below grade level academic achievement levels. Our retention of students as they advance from elementary to middle school and from middle school to high school is very poor. A significant number of our students have complex social and emotional needs that are not currently being met. And finally, and even within our own schools, there are simply not enough learning opportunities for the cultural knowledge and Ojibwe language. This is something that absolutely must change. With all of those things in mind, in 2025, I want you to increase the learning opportunities for Ojibwe language, cultural knowledge, and Native identity through additional staff training and hiring. I also want you to develop a 5-year strategic plan that identifies our priorities and needs along with specific actions and metrics that we can measure them in. Finally, Raina, I'd like you to work with the Office of Solicitor General to develop a truancy code that will ensure our children are not falling behind in their studies, and also propose revisions to the band's education code that will ensure our children are being provided a top-notch education throughout the band. Now, I know that's a lot for a baby commissioner, but education is near and dear to my heart, as I know it is yours. Your passion for education shows through anytime you speak about it. As you know, without a quality education that incorporates both our traditions and culture along with the advancements of the modern world, our children are not set up for success in a society that is always changing and always becoming more complicated. We must and will do better. So this one's a weird one for me, right? So when I was over at the representative's office there, me and Caleb like to put on the gloves from time to time, and still a little awkward when we're in the same team, right? Just kidding, Caleb. So Caleb, Dog Eagle, Solicitor General, you're one of the best people I know at working a room, second only to myself. But seriously, Caleb, you have served the band well for many years now, starting in 2019. I thank you and your office for the work you do in representing the band's interest in tribal court, helping our government function on a daily basis, and for overseeing the band's reservation boundary litigation against Mille Lacs County. As you all know, back in 2017, the band filed a lawsuit against Mille Lacs County after the county created a law enforcement crisis on our reservation. The county terminated our law enforcement agreement and asserted that the band's officers lacked authority to investigate crimes and make arrests on our reservation. The band, very fortunately, has since prevailed in federal court. In several landmark rulings, the court determined that the boundaries of the 1855 Mille Lacs Reservation do remain intact and that the band's officers have inherent law enforcement authority all throughout the reservation. The county then appealed the ruling to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. Fortunately, the United States, the state of Minnesota, the National Congress of American Indians, the Boise Fort, just kidding, is she here? No, she's not here. Boise Fort, Grand Portage, and Leech Lake bands filed briefs supporting us in the appeal, which has now been fully briefed and argued. Unfortunately, right now today, we do not know when the court will issue its decision, but be assured that my office will notify all band members as soon as the court decides the case. It is important to add that after the county filed its appeal, the Minnesota legislature amended its tribal law enforcement statutes so that the tribes would no longer need agreements with local counties to exercise law enforcement authorities. These legislative amendments prevent Mille Lacs or any other county from ever again attempting to cripple law enforcement authority on a reservation. Round of applause. Thank them so much. Solicitor General Dog Eagle, Caleb, in 2025, I ask that you continue advocating on the band's behalf on this very important issue, along with the band's outstanding legal team at Zions Chestnut Law Firm. That team includes Mark Slonim and Beth Baldwin. Let's give them a round of applause for the work they do for the band. Caleb, let's see this fight through to the end so that nobody can ever again question the existence of our reservation or that we belong here. This is our home, and we forever will protect the homelands of the non-removable Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. I need a drink of water for this one. And now that the issue of the Mille Lacs Reservation is reaching finality, early in November, I met with some drum chiefs from District 2 about the status of Sandy Lake Reservation. Micha Abed said something, a lot of things, but said something that resonated with me, right? And allow me to paraphrase. The thing that he said to me, and it just rings in my head right now, even as we're thinking, like, We fought for the Mille Lacs boundary. He said, why? Right? Why? And you know what he did? He hit the desk. He said, because there was a reservation there. I was like, wow, that's right? Well, there is a reservation at Sandy Lake, and we need to fight to have it recognized also. So to all of our band members, in District 2, I want you to know that I am committed to determining what the best course of action might be. In partnership with Zions Chestnut, we have begun researching hundreds of pages of documents and will finally get to the bottom of this long-standing issue. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have a vacancy in one of our commissioner positions, and that is of the Commissioner of Corporate Affairs. It was formerly held by Joseph Naquanabe Jr., someone who I have known all my life and who has served the band in that role for 12 years. Joe's term ended just a couple of weeks ago, and I made the difficult decision not to renominate him. But we do have a plan to ensure the continuity of leadership at Mille Lacs Corporate Ventures, and we have begun, and we have been working for several weeks to forge a path forward. Having served in that role for 12 years, Joe has developed a great deal of knowledge that is difficult to replace, especially in the emerging cannabis market. Therefore, I truly believe it is in the band's best interest that Joe continue to serve and help and share that knowledge in some capacity. We've yet to figure that out, but we're working towards some type of solution. Former Mille Lacs Band Chief Executive Art Garbo believed that our gaming business was the engine that powered band government and powered sovereignty. It is true that our casinos have served us very well for a very long time, but I've always thought they could do better. I've also long believed that our non-gaming businesses could improve. This is where I said I wouldn't lie, right? We got some stuff we got to work on, and I filtered this down for public consumption, but we got to have some real conversations. The services, the band membership, everything that we're doing for the tribe is growing and growing and growing. And imagine being a new chief executive while, gaming revenue is going down, right? And that's a problem all across Indian country. And it's something that we've, as a band assembly, really tried hard to get ahead of. We've invested, and we've yet to see the fruits of those labors, and we're trying to figure that out. So, unfortunately, distributions from our gaming revenue are trending downward, and only a small percentage of our casino employees are Mille Lacs band members. Therefore, I believe there's a tremendous amount of work that we can improve upon. So as I mentioned earlier, and I'm not on script here, as I mentioned earlier, when I throughout the course of my life, I had people that helped. When I was first elected District 1 representative, a very dear friend and servant to the band became very close with me, man, and he helped me and led me along the way, and he's also had some very insightful teachings. That former representative served the band for 28 years in office. Can we give Marvin Bruno a round of applause, please? So, former District 2 Representative Marvin Bruno always asks the question, what do we do if there's no casino? Unfortunately, he never received a satisfactory answer, and that is why Marvin came to believe that the band's gaming businesses should be separated from its non-gaming businesses. This would be so that the band membership would have a pristine view of how well the casinos are performing on their own in comparison with the performance of all non-gaming businesses. I have written to the band assembly that I would like to see the company separated into two companies, just as Marvin had envisioned. I'd like to call this the Bruno Bill. One company for gaming and one company for non-gaming. In 2025, I sincerely hope that all leadership can work together to arrive at the best possible solution. As we move forward with Mille Lacs corporate ventures, it'll be very uncomfortable at times. It has been very uncomfortable, but that's how we grow. Along the way, we have to be willing to have those hard conversations. We have to be willing to share the real numbers with our membership. We have to know that as we're providing more and more services, we need to be better at making more and more money, right? So along the way, I don't want to be the guy up here saying that we don't have great things going. Man, we're blessed to be here. But our job is to meet those needs as they come forward, right? Now, along the way, there are still some things that I'm very excited about, which I think can be truly beneficial to the band. The Ventura project, for example. The Ventura project is currently being built with an expected completion date of this summer. I want to thank the band assembly members for their support on this monumental project. To me, this project represents a stake in the ground that clearly tells our urban membership that you matter. The Ventura project will be the home to the services that the band has available to our urban membership. And on top of these services, the Ventura project will provide 36 units of much needed housing resources. Urban members, please be on the lookout for advertisements coming very soon for rental opportunities. Over the years, our urban membership hasn't had a place that was built and could be used solely for them and to meet their needs. Urban members, 941 of you I seen on the list, you are an important part of our band, and your needs are still very important to us. So another exciting project, this one's cool, man, this one's cool, this one's got a lot of hope, right? Lake leaf cultivation, which has not only provided jobs to band members, but could also grow into the stable non-gaming funding source that is the hallmark of a diverse tribal economy. That's a lot. In the coming years, I can't wait to see the places we'll go together. Hey, am I high right now? Just kidding. The gummy kicked in about halfway through here. Lake leaf cultivation is a huge step for this. A huge step that has recently happened was the harvesting of our first batch of cannabis just last week. Band assembly, we will have to prioritize the next steps for this venture. We have recently had conversations about the creation of the cannabis retail plan, and we'll have to work closely to determine the best investment going forward. So, and I'm jumping way off script here, so one of the things before leaving MLCV that I think bears mentioning is the dream of what the casinos were supposed to be. Right, the dream of, and they've done a wonderful job. We wouldn't have any of this if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for our leadership that put, 15% away into long-term savings over the years, we wouldn't have our investments, right? We wouldn't have that. If it wasn't for our Secretary Treasurer, Sheldon Boyd, and his leadership, we wouldn't have revamped our investment policy. We wouldn't have created that, and in turn, our investments wouldn't have doubled over that time. So although change can be difficult, sometimes it really is necessary. So one of the quotes, from Marge Anderson, again, using her today, we must take ownership of our future and create opportunities for ourselves. We cannot rely on others to provide for us. We must be self-reliant. This quote highlights her belief in the importance of self-sufficiency and the empowerment of our people. We can't do it, right? We can't do it if our people aren't doing it. When I was first District 1 representative, somebody said, what's going to make District 1 better, right? How are we going to improve the lives of our district, right? How are we going to do that? And the simple answer that I came up with was, through all of the businesses, through band government, we're already spending a ton of money, right? Employees, over 70% of everything that we do is spent on employees. And when asked, how are we going to make these communities better? And this is a call to band members too, right? Is we have to give our band members those opportunities. We have to spend that money that we're spending on employment right here at home. So when we look at, at one point there were 500 open jobs between our casinos and our band government. I think that's down a little bit now. But how are we going to make that better? It's by dropping that revenue in the middle of our communities. It's about providing opportunities for our membership to gain and experience knowledge and experience the world. That's how we're going to get better. Looking at MLCV employment data currently, and this is hard, right? This is a hard conversation. Less than 10% of all MLCV businesses and employees are band members. Currently, just the other day, only 234 members were working for MLCV across all portfolios out of 2,386 members. That's a travesty, man. That's not the dream of Art. That's not the dream of Marge, right? We need to stand up. I talk about back when we were grand. I think about that when casinos first opened, we all had sequin jackets. We all had, right, all of our cousins, all of our uncles, everybody was either dealing cards, they were wearing a badge on their shirt, they were all getting ready, and everywhere that you walked within the casino, you seen a band member face. We have the opportunity to change that. We have the opportunity to empower our band members to change their quality of life. Some of us, again, I said I wouldn't BS, right? Some of us have settled in. Some of us said, you know what, I'm good with where I'm at. But through opportunity, we can change the outcome of all of our lives. Think about that. On average, I think our minimum wage is $17, $18 an hour right now. Man, that's $36,000 a year. You add that to our per cap, you add that to our GWE, you add that shack up with another band member, right? All of a sudden, your household income goes from low 30s up to $120,000, $130,000. That's how we as leadership can affect the change and the lives and the well-being of our band members. But we need you band members to stand up. As leaders, we can only provide opportunities. We cannot make you take them, right? We can't make you run with those opportunities. We can't do this alone. Band members, we can change your quality of life. We can change those outcomes. We can change our health. We can change our wellness. But we need you to be part of the team. We also need to change through trust, right? You have to believe that we're going to change. You have to believe and trust that we have your best interest at heart. And also change through hard conversations. This is all something I knew that we had to have, right? And The one thing, and again, that I think bears mentioning, and I mentioned a few times throughout my speech, was whether it's jobs, whether it's cultural identity, whether it's language, we can't carry that on without you. I'll say that I'm guilty. I should have and will. One of my commitments to myself is to learn the Ojibwe language. And our job as leaders is to provide those opportunities. But we need people to teach, right? We need people to stay and stick it out. When we look at the language of the Mille Lacs Band, we've invested time and time and time again only to have that investment leave our communities. They went to work somewhere else. Somebody else got a grant and now I'm gone. But they're forgetting the whole context of that was to learn and teach the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe language to our own people. And we have to change that. You're like, could you add any more? Just kidding. So back to employment data, just to get this out of the way. So amongst MLCV and all of our stuff right now, of the 234 out of 2,386 employees, we currently only have 25 band members serving in supervisory or above positions. We have, between the two properties, just the casinos, there are 261 supervisory or above positions. And again, only 25 of those are held by band members. A shining star, I will say a shining star, and something that's coming up, and I mentioned it earlier, lake leaf cultivation currently sits at 66% band members, 20 of 30 people. That was done through priority and letting them know that our band members will be first on that list. And we can do that all the way across the band. So band government, we're very fortunate, and I want to make sure that we touch base on this. Like, band government and the employees that serve us, band member or not, you have dedicated your lives and committed your families to us as a band, and we want to take care of you. We want you to know that we're here for you. We want you to know that we're grateful for every day. Every time that you check in, we're grateful. Thank you so much. How about a round of applause for our employees doing the hard work, please? I think a very doable goal, and again, this is about band members stepping up, but I think we have to set a goal of around 30%. Right now, currently, Mille Lacs Band government is roughly 30% band members, so we're out there fighting for ourselves, right? Now we need to do it here. All right. Do it. Do it. Quit talking about it. Quit talking about it. Chris, you've been there for 6 months. It ain't done. Hold on. Let me get a drink of water. I'm almost done. Bear with me here. I'm almost done. All right. Now that, dude, we can do it, right? We can do it. We can hold each other up. We can help each other up. We can prop each other up. If you guys could dust me off in all the dumb shit that I did over my life, imagine helping each other, and that's where we need to get. So getting back to the speech here, next, and before I close my speech, I'd like to recognize some of our young people and also one adult. Just one. Hey. This group has really raised some eyebrows as of late. They didn't perform here today, but you may have heard of a little band of Neashing students called Fry Bread. Round of applause. I tell you, this group of kids has blown the roof off of several community events over the last few months, including one of the band's employee appreciation events. It has been so nice to see our band member children having fun, putting themselves out there, thriving, and showing all of the talent they have within themselves. Please join me in welcoming and thanking Fry Bread for their inspiration. Amelia Pacheco-Lisi, please stand up. Cass Sam, please stand up. Kaylee Nickaboyne, please rise. Hayden Nickaboyne. Mercedes Anderson. And he'll really hate this one, but little drummer boy, Bryce Cash. So one of the things that throughout my life too, people have, held me up, right? They've helped me along, and I want to give a special recognition here to their teacher, Joseph Covert, for 1 second, please. So one of the things, that magic and power of pushing people along and putting them in the spotlight, Joseph has found a way to have our band members jump out in front of a crowd, right? And as we look to this year of the child, let's support those kids. Let's change it. Like I said earlier, we've been very great at being reactive. How do we get proactive? How do we change the lives and the direction of the band? Let's do it by being proactive and maintaining these wonderful young adults, and maintaining and making sure that we're encouraging them in everything that they do. One more round of applause for Fry Bread. I'm nearing the end here. So a couple other people, and this by no means is a complete list, but just a couple people that I think bears mentioning. All of our students, I didn't get it worked into the speech, but one of the things, our scholarship program, we always laugh, scholarship program is short, they need extra budget, they need extra funding. That's because our students are succeeding. That's because they're attending college. It's a great problem to have. Let's give our scholarships a round of applause, please. So with that, we also have some shining stars in education, right? One of them, and I think that this one bears mentioning because she is a very special student that's been very dedicated. Where's she at? Oh, she's blushing already. She knows what's coming up. So Rihanna Smith, if you could please stand up for 1 sec. So the reason that this is mentioned is Rihanna has been an exemplary student throughout high school. She is set to graduate high school on May 27th of this year. But she does this having already attained her associate's degree. Before she graduates high school, she's going to have her associate's degree in hand. Round of applause. So Rihanna has already accepted a liberal arts program, been accepted to a liberal arts program at the U of M. Another thing that bears mentioning about Rihanna, like on a national level, the Mille band is strong, and that's because of our prior leadership putting in that work, right? On a national level, Rihanna, she just stumbled into National Congress of American Indians, right? One of thousands of kids that were there, right? And somehow she left being the co-chair of the youth council at NCAI. Round of applause for Rihanna, please. So, as we mentioned dignitaries earlier, and I'm really, really close to being done, and I know everybody's hungry. As we mentioned dignitaries earlier, we forgot one. We forgot the power of band members being in elected positions outside of our band. And I hope she's here. I don't know. I haven't got confirmation. Kelly Miller, are you in the house? No Kelly Miller. Anyway, Kelly Miller was recently elected Ramsey County Commissioner. Let's give Kelly a round of applause, please. In closing, finally, I just want to say that we have many, many things going for us as a band. From our government services, to our boundary case, to our business ventures, we truly are the non-removable Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. We are here to stay. We are here to live life with all the resilience of our ancestors, but we have got to do more to look after our children and to make sure they have the opportunities that those same ancestors fought for. With that, I hope that you will join me in this year of 2025, Year of the Child, to do all that we can for the youth and to ensure the preservation of our way of life for generations to come. Miigwech MLB, onward baby, let's go.
Wow, what a great speech. Let's give another round of applause for our Chief Executive, Virgil Wind. Okay. All right, at this time, we will call up our Secretary Treasurer for the recess, calling the recess of Band Assembly. Please welcome Sheldon Boyd.
Yeah, this is procedural. We'll call Band Assembly in recess, and we'll reconvene across the street after dinner. Miigwech, everyone.
All right, at this time, we will have a song by the Little Otter Singers on the drum. And for those who aren't familiar, this song was given to Mille Lacs Band and composed by the late Jim Clark, Nawagiza Siban. This song was to be sung at the State of the Band address for the people of the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe to celebrate and bless us. So with this, let's please welcome Little Otter Singers. Please stand if you are able. Miigwech, Little Otter. Lastly, you may be seated. Lastly, this event wouldn't happen without the help of so many. Yesterday afternoon, we set a dish, and Wabash Kibanes, Joseph Nekwanebi Sr., prayed for safe travels for all, a successful State of the Band event, and a successful year ahead for the Mille Lacs Band. Miigwech, Joe Sr., for your prayers last night. We appreciate all the volunteers, the singers, the color guard, royalty, the drum, and everyone else who made the 41st Annual State of the Band address possible. And a special miigwech to all of those who joined us online and in person today. Next, we will serve our lunch. During the lunch break, our commissioner videos will play, and there will be a flute performance by Mille Lacs Band member Max Blake. I'd like to ask for volunteers to come forward to assist in serving our elders. All others will be released by the banquet staff when it's time. This concludes the 41st Annual State of the Band address. Chi miigwech, and have a safe and happy New Year.